Private Elias Ward never expected his life to change on a battlefield made of glass. The planet Aurelian 5 was unlike anything humans had stepped on before. Its soil shimmered with iridescent crystals, and every footstep echoed like tapping on frozen metal. The air tasted metallic, too, as if the entire world had once been molten and recently cooled. It was here the Terran army clashed with the Aurelians, one of the most enigmatic alien empires in the galaxy. Elias was 26, underpaid, undertrained compared to other forces, and very aware he was just another soldier whose survival depended more on luck than skill. His job was simple: hold the line, fire when told, survive if possible. Yet fate rarely consults duty rosters. During a lull in the fighting, Elias wandered a few steps beyond the trench and noticed something strange protruding from the crystal soil. A single blue flower, impossibly delicate, glowing faintly like a star trapped in a petal. The scientists said Aurelian 5 was dead, sterile, unable to produce biological organisms. But there it was, small, fragile, alive. Instinctively, he knelt and touched it. It pulsed, and the battlefield fell silent. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and a shimmering veil of light spread across the valley. The soldiers around Elias shouted, some firing blindly, others falling to their knees in shock. A massive shape descended from the sky, an Aurelian warship, smooth and golden like a floating blade. The hull opened, and she stepped out. Tall as a human but impossibly elegant, skin shimmering like liquid metal, eyes glowing deep violet. Queen Seraphine, ruler of the Aurelian Empire. She was a figure of myth, only glimpsed in propaganda images. But now she was walking directly toward Elias. Her eyes lowered to the flower he held, and she whispered, somehow in his mind, not through sound, "You touched the Heartbloom," and it responded. Elias swallowed. "I didn't mean to. It chose you." Her voice resonated, warm yet commanding. "And so must I." Every soldier around him froze as the alien queen lifted the glowing blue flower from his hand. She held it to her chest, and a shockwave of light rippled across the valley. In an instant, every Aurelian soldier lowered their weapon. And every human did, too. There was no war cry, no peace announcement. Only a single, bewildering truth. The alien queen had chosen a human soldier. Middle, the queen's choice. Elias didn't remember being taken aboard her starship. One moment, he was on the battlefield. The next, he stood inside a chamber made of swirling starlight, like the walls themselves were alive. Queen Seraphine paced before him, studying him with ancient, thoughtful eyes. "Why me?" Elias finally asked. "Why would you choose me?" Her expression softened. "Because the Heartbloom does not make mistakes." She gestured, and the flower, still glowing, floated in a circle around Elias like a living halo. "It is a relic tied to Aurelian destiny," she continued. "It blooms only once every 1,000 years, and chooses a being capable of changing everything." Elias laughed nervously. "I think you've got the wrong guy." "No," she replied firmly. "You are precisely what the galaxy needs." She stepped closer. Too close. Elias felt heat rise in his cheeks. She smelled faintly of ionized air and starlight. "I sense honesty, courage, restraint," she said softly. A soldier who touched beauty in the middle of war instead of crushing it. Her hand hovered inches from his cheek, but she stopped, as if unsure. Then she whispered, "You do not fear me." "Should I?" She smiled. Not cruelly, almost sadly. "Most do." A low hum filled the chamber, and a hologram flickered to life, galactic borders shifting like storm clouds. The queen pointed. "Our empire fractures. Factions rise against me. The Heartbloom's choice, it gives legitimacy.
Power.
Hope. She hesitated. And companionship I have lacked for centuries. Elias blinked hard. Are you saying that you will stand by me? She finished. Not as a servant. Not as a hostage. As the one the Heartbloom chose as my equal. He stepped back. I'm a nobody. You're not. Moments later, the ship shook. An alarm blared. Queen Seraphine, a soldier, shouted over comms. Rebels are incoming. 3 warships approaching. The Queen straightened. So it begins. She turned to Elias. You must choose now. Return to your people and hide, or stay by my side and shape the future. Elias stared at the glowing flower. Something inside him stirred. I'll stay. Her relief was visible for only a heartbeat, but it was real. Then come, she said softly. We have a universe to protect. The war of rebellion, the days that followed, were a blur of star systems, rebel ambushes, and political chaos. Elias became an unexpected symbol. Some saw him as a bridge between species, others as an omen, others still as a target. Queen Seraphine trained him personally in Aurelian diplomacy, energy combat, and the ancient traditions surrounding the Heartbloom. He learned more about her. She had ruled for 500 years. Aurelians lived long but felt emotions rarely. She carried more loneliness than any throne could hide, yet around him, she was different. Lighter, warmer, curious. Once, during a tactical briefing, she paused and simply stared at him. What? He asked. You laugh, she said. It is strange. Beautiful. Another day, she confessed. I fear losing this connection. Aurelians do not form bonds easily, but the Heartbloom compels us toward truth. Elias felt his resentment for the war fading. In its place grew something unexpected, something dangerous. But the rebellion grew stronger. Aurelian factions, led by General Vorath, claimed Seraphine choosing a human was a betrayal of their purity. Vorath declared, the throne belongs to Aurelians, not to sentimental queens or their pet soldiers. Their final attack came during the Crown Convergence, an ancient ceremony where the queen would bond with the Heartbloom and her chosen companion. Elias stood beside Seraphine in the ceremonial chamber as rebels stormed the palace. Explosions shook the floor. The queen touched his hand. If I fall, she whispered, the Heartbloom will die with me. Then you're not falling, Elias said. The rebels burst in. Vorath himself stepped forward, his armor glowing crimson. Your reign ends, he snarled, and the human dies first. Elias raised a shield Seraphine had given him, just as a blast hit it and sent him flying. Seraphine screamed, a sound that shook the air like cracking glass, as she hurled energy that vaporized half the rebel squad. Vorath lunged at Elias, but Elias rolled, grabbed a fallen staff, and struck back. They clashed, human instinct versus alien precision. Vorath overpowered him, pinning him to the ground. You think a flower's choice changes destiny, he hissed. Elias spit blood. It already did. Behind them, Seraphine rose, eyes blazing with cosmic fire. She reached for the Heartbloom. It responded. Light burst through the room. Pure blue, alive, roaring with ancient power. Elias felt himself lifted into the air alongside her. The light flooded them both. Vorath screamed as the energy disintegrated him and every rebel in the room. The palace fell silent. When the glow faded, Seraphine and Elias floated gently to the floor, still holding hands. The Heartbloom dimmed and vanished. Its destiny fulfilled. Ending. A new empire of 2 weeks later, peace swept across the Aurelian Empire. The rebellion crumbled. The galaxy stabilized. And everywhere, in every broadcast and ceremony, one truth echoed. The Queen had chosen a human not by whim, but by destiny. Elias stood beside her on the balcony of the celestial spire, overlooking billions celebrating. Seraphine turned to him, her voice softer than a whisper. "The Heartbloom is gone," she said. "Its purpose complete. But I need to know, now that the galaxy no longer forces you," she swallowed. "Will you stay with me by choice?" Elias took her hands. "I stayed before the throne, before the flower, before the destiny." He smiled. "I stayed because of you." A single tear, glimmering silver, rolled down her cheek. No Aurelian had cried in centuries. She leaned into him, forehead against his. "Then together," she whispered, "we will build a new age." Below them, millions cheered as their queen and her chosen companion stepped forward. Not as ruler and soldier, not as alien and human, but as partners bound not by war, but by a single flower that changed everything.